The artist's brain is an independent variable. When brought into the everyday world, their senses find meaning in even the most mundane observations. The reaction must only be told by the artists themselves. I'm Loverboy, and this is an experiment. Today's guest has found herself as one of the top models in the world. At age 21, she's already lived a full life, including walking in some of the largest fashion shows and being on multiple Vogue covers from multiple countries. With all the success, she has still found a huge part in helping spread the message of body positivity. And with that, I'm so excited to announce our guest today. Welcome, Ansley Gulielmi. How are you?
Wow, Bradley, what an introduction. That is so sweet. I have the biggest grin on my face. I'm doing so very well. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. It is such a pleasure to have you on, and I'm so excited for the whole world to get to hear some of your awesome stories and the wild, amazing life that you've lived in just 21 years so far.
Thank you. So happy to be here. I have so many stories. So many stories from this crazy life that I live and lead. And I look forward to sharing some of them with you. I think I'll write a book one day.
You absolutely should. I feel like that'd be such a fun book. That would get me reading.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I love to write. And I think I used to have this idea of how a book should be, but I actually my mind is so sporadic. I have so many things going on and so many ideas that I would love to put in a book. Things like inspiration, stories, diary entries. What else?
What better time to get on it?
Yeah. You know what? I have so many journals too, just piled up in Michigan even, and in my apartment in New York City. And it's, I haven't really taken the time to look back at them yet. I kind of feel like there's a place and a time for it. And I don't feel some of the things I'm not ready to look back on yet.
Oh, totally.
But yeah, I'm definitely going to do that one day.
Well, that's a great segue. I mean, you were talking about how you started in Michigan, and you are now in New York. And the purpose of this podcast is to explain to people how important it is to surround yourself with people that are going to push you to do better in your career and in your art, and people that are going to inspire you. So you've lived in all these different places. How would you say that traveling the world and living in different parts of the world has inspired your art and what you do for a living?
Great question. It has, honestly, I've had a lot of situations as a kid having to be a young adult and act professionally, traveling the world alone, and having to do a lot of problem solving and really just settling into the discomfort, constantly being in an uncomfortable zone for myself in which I had no choice but to grow. Mm-hmm. And in doing so, I think it has made me meet new parts of myself and learn to understand my strengths and my struggles. And it's taken me to a deeper understanding about what I like, what I need, all these things. And I think that through all the craziness, I've taken a lot of time to just kind of sit with myself and to be really mindful. And it's made me very curious and interested in mental health and why I am the way I am, human nature, all these things. It really, so I've become really fascinated with that. And also my spirituality and things like that too. I'm kind of just rambling on, so I hope it makes sense. But also, when I was 16 years old and I started to model in Chicago, my mom would take a day off of work and I would take a day off of school and we would drive to Chicago. And, it was a 3-hour-ish drive. And we would always listen to The Secret, which is the Bible of the law of attraction. And I began to understand my personal powers and manifesting and just getting in touch with my personal powers and the power of positive thought and affirmation. So things like that, were kind of brought on through my modeling career. Whereas when I was a young teenager in high school, not modeling, just doing the basic suburban kid lifestyle thing. I was really uninspired, unmotivated. I didn't really know what I wanted to do for college. Outside of college, I had like no goals. I had no just like idea of what I wanted to do. And right, like how could I if I lived like the same kind of basic life all my life? And so through my very fruitful modeling experience and through my travels, I've definitely gained a deeper understanding into my interests and my hobbies and my inspirations and things like that.
Would you say that traveling, I mean, you were clearly started at a very young age, and being a young age in that industry, you're going to be surrounded by people who maybe when you're beginning are more successful or have been in the game longer. Would you say being around people that are further along than you when you were starting pushed you to work harder and taught you a lot? Or would you say that it was more competition?
Great question. I think that working with people that were quote unquote, more ahead of me, more successful than me, has always inspired me. And I always believe that in my in my circle of friends and in my life, like I never want to be the smartest one. I never want to be like the best. I always constantly am searching to grow and learn from those around me. And so I think that's always a really great, place to be in. And also, when I first started modeling, I never like set out in my life like I'm gonna be a big model, I'm gonna whatever. I simply like took it day by day, job by job, and was like very appreciative of like every little thing that came my way. And so yeah, I really learned from those around me. And but also there's that positive influence of people in your circle or in your career circle kind of that have been in the industry longer than you have, and they know more than you, but it doesn't mean that they always like had your best interest in mind, specifically with modeling and like being a really young like vulnerable kid, being like 16 and 15. It's like, you also want to trust these people around you when they tell you like what to do and stuff. And so I think that I was kind of like, how do I say this? Kind of like toughened up. I really had to do a lot of toughening up to outside influences, but I surely was very inspired also by the creatives around me.
So, of course, in the industry, there's going to be so many people who aren't on your side. And unfortunately, especially in the modeling industry, you're in a super vulnerable position, especially as a young girl, where there's a lot of people who they're in it for the money, they're in it for the greed, or sometimes people are just don't have the best interest in general. What did it take to learn to trust people?
Yeah, so I've been able to trust people by simply, I don't know, I guess like finding people that really truly care about me and people that show that they care about me. I've had a lot of really close friends that I've met, a lot of model friends and other friends in, the city, but people that have a greater influence on me and my career specifically are like my agents that I have now, who I'm extraordinarily grateful for. I mean, those influences I admire so greatly. My agent Julian is my rock. He is my person, and he has taught me that that love is patient, and he's given me the space and the grace to grow into this badass, beautiful woman that I am today and that I'm continuously becoming. And to have his back and to have his support and to know that like he loves me no matter what is just simply the best thing ever. I work so hard for like he inspires me to and motivates me to be a better person. And the rest of my agents too. I mean, I think I struck gold with them, and their love and their respect for me is truly palpable. And I love the way that, we are constantly goal setting, constantly, coming together as a team and thinking, what feels good right now? What's the next best decision that we can make for Team Ansley so we can all be successful? I think that's key in success, is having that support system.
The whole point of this podcast is for people to realize that though not everybody is always going to be on your side, when you find the people that are, and you find the people that care about you and that want you to do as well as possible, that's what it's about. Those are the people that will push you to be a better person, a better artist, and an all-around happier person in the industry. It's so important. And they're there. You just gotta look, and you gotta know what you're looking for. Part of that just comes with experience, as you've had for years. And you've had a big part in playing to help share light on body positivity and to help keep women in your industry comfortable. Why is that so important to you? Why is that something you fight so hard for?
Body positivity, mainly body acceptance, is something that is so important for me because it is something that I struggled with for so many years. As a young model in the industry, constantly being told that I wasn't good enough and I had to change all these things about my body, and I had to do so many things to quote unquote like fix my body and like to like be better, and I suffered with just depression and anxiety and eating disorders, all because of my body. And I didn't like the way that my body looked. And it was so, like, looking back, it's so sad because I was so young and so beautiful. And I just want to spread that message and like keep up this conversation and like totally normalize it, because especially as women, no matter what you do, no matter who you are, I think all women and even men suffer with body acceptance, body comparison, and yeah, I want to talk about it more. I want to share my story more with people. I want to hear what other people have to say, because in hearing other people's stories and in talking about it myself, I have gained a lot of insights and a lot of inspiration and courage to share my story and to kind of normalize this. And I just want to spread the message that you don't have to love your body. You don't have to, think that you're perfect all the time. But my message is simply body acceptance, body neutrality, showing up courageously as you are every day and saying, this is me. Like, this is me. This is what I stand for. This is what I look like. And that's good. It's more than good enough.
Yeah. Well, I mean, thank you. The world needs more people like you that are willing to fight for something that is not only so important, but so common. The amount of people in this world, the amount of young ladies specifically that have to go through bullshit every single day, whether it's in the modeling industry or just being a young kid. It doesn't need to be that way. And people like you that can show that that's not part of it. To get from point A to point B, that does not have to be part of it. What has to be part of it is waking up and showing up for yourself every single day, knowing that you're in the right place and you're kicking ass and you're working hard and you can love every bit of yourself during the ride. Thank you for spreading that message.
Yeah, right on. You said it so beautifully.
And who would you say are some of your inspirations? Who gives you inspiration for your art as well as just in your everyday life?
The people that give me inspiration are my mom and my brother and my dad, whom I love so much and I talk to every single day, and my agents, my best friends that I have in my circle. This city where I live, honestly, inspires me to be myself, to be so uniquely me, and to work hard. Yeah, my friends, my family, and my agents, really.
Well, you have done so much in such a short period of time. You're only 21 years old, and you've already taken over the world. We cannot wait to see what you do next and all the people that you inspire and help. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. We all appreciate you coming on and hanging out today. And to everybody listening,
I'm Ansley Gulielmi, and this is an experiment.
The experience is the experiment.